Welcome to Unfiltered Lives, The Other Side Recovery Podcast, Episode 4. Who are we interviewing this week?
This week we're interviewing John, Dan.
Awesome. Let's go.
Let's go.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having us, lads. Is it okay? Yeah.
Really good, really good. Just wanted to say thank you for getting involved with the Community Links documentary and doing that interview as well. How did you find that?
You know what? It was. I was happy about it because if putting our stories out there and what we do, if it can help somebody, you know, well, I'm all for that.
100%.
I'm all for that because from what we've been through, if you could help just one person, it wouldn't make your life seem like worthwhile. It'd just make it seem not so much of a waste, fellas. You know,
100%.
and that's why I'm doing this today, just
Thanks, John.
to get it out there. You know,
That's what this channel's about, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
sending the message, spreading the message, interviewing people like yourself. So thank you.
No, thank you guys. Yeah.
John, welcome to Unfiltered Lives.
Charlie.
And the other side, I just want to reiterate what Dan said, mate. You know, I've been speaking to you for a month now, has it been? Something
it's
like
been
that.
a while now.
And you've been in mine and Dan's in my radar for quite a period of time. So again, as what Dan said, thanks for popping over. And let's get started then.
Yeah.
Yes, really, when you are
100%.
fellas, yeah.
So, where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I was born in a little place called Westview in Hartlepool, 1981. I'm the middle child. I've got a little sister. She's 5 years younger than me. I've got an older brother. He's 13 months older than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty close family. Yeah, we were, not anymore. Like,
What was that? Am I right there?
well,
You're living man in Westview. Am I describing the area to you?
Westview's a little rough. It was one of the roughest parts in Hartlepool. I mean, they had to rip half of it down to quieten it down. Was the time when the TWOC squad were going round and all the little boy burglars and people all over. So what they done was they ripped half the estate down and moved them all out, you know, and they quietened it right down, But other people from the town wouldn't even cut through Westview at one point, back when I was a kid.
And Westview's in Hartlepool.
Westview's in Hartlepool, it's just a little tiny, tiny estate in Hartlepool,
So what was it like for you growing up there? Like sort of young-ish, sort of, say, you start remembering things around about 5, 10-ish, don't you? Around that sort of age. What was it like?
Well, do you know what? Like, I loved the estate. I thought the estate was great. Do you know what I mean? But I'll go into my childhood at home. Things weren't that good at home. My dad was a pisshead. My mum was half a pisshead, and I used to, for instance, like it was handy with a belt and shit. Do you know what I mean? Give you a couple of examples if you want. I remember one time he used to be out for days on the drink. He'd come home, get into me mum, beat me mum up. She was just as fucking wild, if the truth be known, you know. But I remember one time, for instance, I was upstairs, doing whatever kids fucking do, about 10-year-olds. So I was a bit older than, and I come down and he's into me mum, giving her it on the couch, and that was the first time I thought, I'm gonna fucking kill you, mate. And I did. I thought I would honestly wanted to kill the man. So I picked the glass jar near up, big like vase thing, and I've gone over and I've started him over the head with it to give him it. I thought I was going to top him, but I was only a babby.
Is that 10-year-old?
That was about 10-year-old, because I know because my little sister was 5 at the time, and I'm 5 years older than her. I'd got her ready at the bottom of the stairs to try and get her out the way, but nothing ever happened to her. She was a little princess. She never went, know what I mean? Never let her, and I knew he wouldn't. But I just wanted her out the way because in my head I was going to fucking top this man. And so I've hit him with it, and he's turned around with his teeth clenched. I thought, fuck, I'm for it here. So I've ran up the street with my sister, ran around the bungalows, but it breaks me heart to this day. I had to leave her because he was gaining on us, and I knew nothing had happened to her. I knew for a fact I wouldn't. So I've ran around the little bungalows, but like that, got him in nana's, hide me, he's going to kill me. And what she used to do was hide me in the dog kennel out the back from him. So while he was up growling, I could hear him in the house growling, throwing my granddad about, not looking for me. And I was in the dog kennel. That's when you first start praying, isn't it? But hell, don't let him find me, don't let him find me, you know what I mean?
10-year-old heart's got
Yeah,
like this.
yeah. But My nana was my safe haven. She always looked after us. I used to fight to sleep there. Do you know, she used to snuggle me in on the couch. And she knew we had it a bit rough.
Beautiful.
I remember another time, I got sick of the beatings and that, but they didn't come that often, but when they did, they fucking came. And I got a little bit of a chain, again, only about 10-year-old, and I thought, if he comes at me again, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's mouthed at him. I've shouted, come on then, Dad, come on then. And he's chased me upstairs. I've got this fucking chain out like that. I waved it at him like that. He's just got you, silly boy. He's just got you, took his belt off. Got into me with his belt. That's mine. That's all he burner phone. He's got into me with his belt. And, I remember he had to kick me off school for days, full of belt buckle marks. Yeah. I remember my mum taking me to McDonald's a couple of days later. She must have felt sorry for us. It was just open. I remember looking at this thing. She must have felt half sorry for us. But didn't last long because my dad was the first man I ever done. I remember him going to get into my mum, but by this time I was getting ready for the youth club.
How old are you now?
I was about 13, 14.
So you were 13,
yeah,
14.
and I was getting ready for the youth club, and I had my own little pool cue and that. Because when I was a kid, when I was a bit younger, my dad was going on the drink, my mum would say, take the lads with you, thinking he'd come home, but he wouldn't. He'd be out for days with us in pubs. So I was fucking deadly on the pool table. There was nothing else to do in there, you know what I mean? So you can put benches and play fucking pool. But, so I had my own pool cue and that. So when I was a bit older, I remember him giving it to me mum, and I've jumped up and I've got my pull cue out. I said, look mate, this is not happening again. This is not fucking happening no more. And at this point my brother stood up as well. He said, look Dad, we'll do you. Every time we'll do you know. I mean, I'm not bad mouthing my daddy because my dad turned out a lovely man. So the drink, he ended up my best friend. I travelled fucking all over holidays with him. Like I say, it's just my story. I'm putting it out there. My dad was my best friend in the world when he died, you know what I mean? And I loved him with all my heart. But he realised what he was when he was young, do you know what I mean? Never had a bad fucking childhood, really. We never wanted for anything. He always had a low. We were always on holidays all over and that, you know what I mean? Just didn't know what he was doing when he was on the drink, you know?
And we can identify with that now.
Of course. Now I understand that. Now I understand that the man was ill with his addiction, but I'll give him his due. He sorted himself out.
Did he sort himself out?
Yeah. And I remember the time when we stood up and said, look, Dad, this has got to stop. And then my mum started, go on then, the boys will fucking give you that. And that turned out that she wasn't nice either, do you know what I mean? She always gives a clip and that, but I suppose half them I deserve, Charlie, back in them days. We all give the kids a fucking whooping, do you know what I mean?
What does that do then to a young lad's psyche? Now, I know for me, when you look at my psyche, I mean, what does that kind of level of abuse in the house and outside of the house, man, what does that do to a young lad? Or what did it do to you?
Well, I suppose some lads it'll break, Charlie, but I turned nasty. I was couldn't give a fuck for no one, bending, you know what I mean? I mean, me and my brother were, like, from kids, I remember my uncle used to come round, say, I'm taking the lads out, take me and my brother round his mates. At the times, it was like, we were that young, was matching vests and fucking wife fronts and that, remember? And they'd wrap our fucking vests and that round our hands and just make us fight each other for hours in the front room, betting on us and that, We loved that shit, you know, when we were a kid, we loved that. But it turned me a bit nasty, Charlie. It turned me violent myself towards people, you know.
So one of the questions that I asked Charlie, I asked Craig,
horrible question,
and I asked Stephen. It's not a horrible question. It's a difficult question. Is knowing everything that you've been through to where you are now, if you could speak to yourself, sort of 10, 5 years old, what would you say to him?
It's gonna be all right, son.
Exactly the same.
You're gonna be all right, son.
Yeah, that's what I said, man.
See, all that shit I've been through and that. See, I was never a bad person. I was never a bad person. All the jail and violence and things, like the situations, my addiction and that made me do bad things. But I was never really a bad person because the man I am now, I'm fucking all right, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm all right.
100%. So, sort of that age, going around sort of fighting from a young age, you mentioned. So where were you when you were like sort of 15, 16, 17?
Well, I was always in and out of boxing gyms and that was only done that to impress my dad. See, going back a little while back, when I was a bear, and the boxing, the big fights used to be on the radio then. So I'd go to bed for school, tell my mum I was going to bed. My dad would be in his tattoo room. My dad was a tattooer.
Oh, was he really?
So there was always fucking drunken men in the house. Go to bed, there'd be some drunken bastard in your bed and that, you know what I mean? Because they'd all come in between pub closing times see, you know. And I used to sneak up on a night, go in his tattoo room, and he'd say, "I was going to get yourself," and then I'd sit with my dad and listen to the fights on the radio and that. Yeah, I love boxing. I was in and out of boxing gyms, but I was also like knocking about with all the lads. And that's when I started like on the ganja and the drink. I mean, we used to stand out the front of a local church as it goes, and I'd get the half a joints off them and a few cans here and there. They took a bit of a liking to me, you know, and that's where it started. Then I got a few tablets and stuff like that, you know. I remember bumping into one of them one day, going to school and getting a handful of tablets off them. I was fucked at school. I was ghost disease about at school, and I was a ban, you know. Yeah, started then with addiction, yeah, and it went on from then. I remember borrowing money for me 16th birthday because I knew I was going to get birthday money. I remember borrowing money to buy heroin. I was by that by 15, 16. I remember
was
buying
that just
money
the
for
start
heroin.
then?
That was just the start, yeah, of a fucking long slippery road, lads.
Was that?
The long slippery road, yeah. And that took me through well, that.
Talk us through, man, some of your early boxing then.
Well, I was always in and out of gyms, and I didn't really do much when I was younger. Just a few arranged ones and stuff like that. Like, I got into the bare-knuckle side.
Oh, really?
I got introduced to a man, James Quinn McDonough, and they made a movie about him called Knuckle, about the travel families at war. And he took me about first having bits of straighteners, you know. And I remember I fought an Hartlepool in a horse paddock, in a horse stable thing. An Hartlepool, that was my first one, with a man from Wales called Junior Davies. He was a cage fighter. He had 30 odd cage fights. I think he'd lost up. It was fucking good. He was good. He was a big fella as well. But at this time, I was in and out of the madness. And I was always in. I'd get clean, train for a fight, have me fight, a few quid and get straight back on it. Do you know what I mean? I remember that fight. I trained very hard for that fight. It was my first one. I was out to impress her, my first bare-knuckle one. And I was out to impress. But on the night I'd been out, I was fucking doing me bits, dropping me bits off, and as you do, and that. I remember James phoning me about 11:30 on the night, saying, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm just graphing these last few bits, a couple of cans, and I'm going home." I was fighting 10 o'clock the next morning. And he said, "What the fuck are you on about?" Because that man, the lad who was fighting, was very dedicated, Junior Davies. And he said, "Johnny's been at stakes on this, that, and the other. He's fucking been in bed since 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I'd never met the man. I'd never seen the lad. Turned out he was lovely, you know. I spoke to him for a long time after. I made half a friend out of him. He was lovely. Anyway, the next I goes home. I was staying at my mum's. My nephews and niece was staying, so my bed was taken up. So I'm jumped on the fucking couch. Get up the next morning. Bit rough. My pal come from my Kruger, my best mate in the world. He's never been a junkie out like that, never took drugs, but all through the madness, that man has stuck by me, and I love him with all my heart. I still see him every day now. Comes for me for the gym every night, and I love that man. But anyway, Kruger come for me in the morning. We'd filmed it on a documentary. There was some foreign film crew there, and I said, "I'm fucked here." I said, "I need a Mars bar and an energy drink, breakfast of champions." Anyway, I've gone walking up the street. As I'm walking up the street, all these cars and film crew now pulled up. "Oh, John, your fight's on now." I thought, "Oh shit." My ass was going like a rabbit's nose, it was. Anyway, so we went, and it was like a stable paddock with a gate on the end, and me and him, the fair play man, goes in, and the gate gets locked behind us. And it was a good old tear up. And I remember my friend coming up and saying, "John, you can't beat this lad, have you seen him?" That's how much faith he had in me. That's how much fucking faith. And I got told my pal, the travelling lad, would actually bet on him. True story. He denies it, but I got told off a good source that my own pal bet on him. Yeah, I'd safe to say he lost his money. I was lucky. I was very lucky.
And did you get the result?
Yeah, I got the result.
I got the result.
Yeah, I got the result. And that's how dedicated the lad was. I remember after I'm saying to him, look, I'll take you for a pint after that, mate. I respect you for that. So I don't drink, mate. I'll have a bacon sandwich. I've been a diet now for months. What the fuck?
You're out grafting night before.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So you're obviously the fights, and then what took you back into the heroin and the addiction side of things after, do you think?
Because I was always tricking myself, and I was always kidding myself and saying I can handle this. I'll just have a sneaky one. No one will know. You know how it is. Before you know it, you're in the big heap again.
Yeah.
I mean, the other year I was in 2 comas within a couple of months of each other.
All through the addiction.
All through the addiction, yeah. Dodgy tablets. The first one, I woke up in hospital. I'd been arrested. I don't know what for. I was smashed to fucking bits. I still don't know what happened to me. But someone's had a grip of us anyway. Done us. I could have brought you a photo of that. I think there's one on the girl's phone. But I woke up and there was 2 policemen next to me bed. I remember my chest killing. It was off these snidey tablets, and all the foreign tablets were coming. And woke up. I said, "What the feels fucking done to me?" They said, "Well, John, you were unresponsive in the cells.
Really?
Like we've had the nurse, and my chest was hurting that much where she was chest pumping me in the cell. If I wasn't in there, maybe it's been a goner." And when that was the first, and I said, I remember them saying to each other, "This is how much of a bastard." I went, "Right, we'll have an easy night, Saturday night." I said, "Easy night there, boys." And I was hanging. I mean, I've been out of a coma about 10 minutes. I said, "Nurse, I'm signing myself out." He went, "Oh, John, you can't do that, mate. You've just been a death start." I said, "Not for me. I knew I needed to stay in there, but that's how much of a bastard I was. So those couldn't have an easy day. And I know they do a job, and I know that, at the time I fucking hated them lads. Anyway, I remember they carried me out with one of them fucking dressing things with all my arse hung out, and I couldn't even walk. I was that weak, gone, and they threw me back in the cell. I was at court. And I remember my friend saying to me, Kroger, my best pal, and I was in court, he said, "John, I felt like crying when I seen you in the dock, that mess." And then a couple of months later, this what addiction does to you, same fucking tablets, wakes up in hospital again.
Same tablets?
Same tablets, yeah, same fucking tablets. And my girlfriend at the time, beautiful, lovely girl, was never in the madness or out. Like you say, relationships you ruin and that, lads, do you know what I mean? And the first thing I done when I woke up was fake the panic attack, so they'd whack a load of lorazepam into me, to calm me down. That's the first thing I done when I woke up. And she walked out, because the first thing I said was, "Have you got any pre-gabs in your bag?" And my catheters and everything was still in me. And all
addict's mind, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's
mind. I just woke, and I woke up, and that's the first thing I said. "Oh yeah, is there any pre-gabs in your fucking bag?"
What about some of your imprisonment sentences, John?
Well,
you must have been in it.
I have, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, like a couple of them I've been lucky with. I remember once it was dealing on the estate, and that bit, not just bits, it was doing all right.
Doing bits.
And this lad had moved down from Newcastle, and I was walking up the back alley near my house, Jowett Road, and I seen him, about 4 or 5 of his mates, me, I was by myself. And I said, "You better stop on this fucking patch. This is my turf." Like, I mean, that's how much of an idiot I was. Do you know what I mean? And he turned on straight away, pulled the blade out. He said, "I'll fucking stick this right in you like that." I said, "All right, mate. Do you think I'm daft enough to come down there with your pals?" I said, "But that's the biggest mistake you've made." So I gets on the phone to my brother, a couple of the lads. They've rocked up in the cars. I've gone in the car. They passed me a big machete. I'll tell you these ones because these are the ones I've been locked up for.
Yeah.
And passed me a big machete. So he goes down. It was a house in Bruce Crescent. And this is how much idiots we were. We goes in, and there's 2 little babies in the double pram in the front room. Pick the pram up, put it in the there was like 2 front rooms, like a sitting room and a front room, dining room, front room, whatever they are. Pick the prams up, and I've put it in the front room. Come out and shut the door. So obviously the kids couldn't see. I mean, terrible for doing where they're there. You'd kill a man for doing that where your kids were. And that's it. We've got into the lads into the house, and we chased a man upstairs. He's hid behind the door like that, and I'm fucking stabbing him through the door with a machete.
Yeah.
And another one's on the top of the stairs, and I threw him down the stairs. The brothers had all of them round the neck, like that one, machete around his neck, and I've come down. I've hit him over the face with that. There was hundreds of stitches involved, hundreds of stitches, and as he's getting up running away, we've braided the back and that off him, braided the back off him. And that man, I'll give him his due, he's had a police line out, and he turned on and said he's not there.
Wow,
Moved away, never seen him again. I got jailed for a glassing once on the headland.
What did you get for that then?
I got off with that.
Oh,
got
right,
off with it
right,
because
there you
of-
go.
Another one. I'll tell you another one I got for self-defence. I got we were collecting money for the shop. We used to have a bit of debt collecting and stuff like that for the other boys. And we were collecting money for the shop. And the man wasn't just selling fucking sweets, that's for sure. But anyway, so we collecting money for the shop. And he goes round. There's me and my brother. But there's 4 of these brothers. And they were half bit of I don't know, half other fucking idiots, but they're half respected. I'm used to it. So we've gone round. The brother's gone to the door for the money, and I'm sat in the wall. Both of the 4 of them's come running out with machetes and fucking swords and whatnot. But at that time, I was an idiot. I wouldn't go to the shop without a knife. When you're living in that, in that world, you've got your things buried to use, and none of that now. Life is fucking bliss at the minute. You know what I mean? So we've been fighting in the street, and my brother's fighting with the lads, this, that, and the other, and one of them's come running down at me with a fucking big machete in the street, and all the witnesses seeing it a lot, and I think that's why I got the self-defence on that one. And he's come running down, and he stopped from like, mate, you away, Charlie? I thought, oh, fuck, he's jacked here. He's jacked, he's cocked off. Oh, lovely. So I've said to him, and I'll give the man his due, he was willing to fight me. I said to him, throw that machete, and I'll fight you. He threw his machete on the floor. I've pulled my knife on my back and said, you daft cunt, and stabbed him about 3 or 4 times in the belly. I got self-defence on that. And one of them I did go to jail for was a glassing on the headland. We were there. I was in bed one night. My brother's in the madness as well. So his pals phoned him. I've heard the party downstairs. I get up, there's a full-on fucking party in my house. So what do? You get up and get in amongst it, don't you? You know what I mean? Well, then I did. Do you know what I mean? Then I did. You get up and get in amongst it. So we're about easy 4 days deep. And they're all big right heads and fucking, you know. And so there was one lad, he was bullying this young kid, get the shop, get here, get there, stripping off, or tensing up and that, full of his steroids and all that he was on. And so by a few days later, we down the headland drinking the shit in, and he's working himself. So I've squared up to him for a fight, and I've got in the middle of us. They should have just let us fight because it wouldn't have went as far as it did, you know. Anyway, we sat there, and my mentality at the time, I looked at these mates and said, I'm going to glass this cunt. And they started moving because I had a bit of a reputation of being an idiot like that then. So they started moving the glasses, this, that, and the other. So I've gone over the other side of the bar, I got one, put it down the back of my tracksuit bottoms there. And I said, right, arm off. I seen him go. I knew what I was doing. I set it up, do you know what I mean? As I've got out round the corner, my brother's locking arms with him. On the corner, so I've jumped in. I'm like, whoa, lads, whoa, break it up, you know what I mean? My brother stepped back, I've pulled the glass out, and I've wrapped it round his head. I give him 70 odd stitches round his head, and then I've hit him again. And as he's gone down, I've kicked all his teeth out there. And I think I got a few for that one. Yeah.
So going on from, wow, it's meant crazy, isn't it?
No, that was my life at this time, you know. This is only a few I'm giving you for. This is
when you're in it, though, man,
when
you're in it, aren't you?
Yeah, in it. So going from all that madness, the drugs, the fighting, the chaos, what was your first day of recovery like? What was that switch?
Scary. That was more scary than standing against all the machetes and guns and fucking. See, all through my life, I was no different to that scared little boy in the dog kennel. And I realise now that I've been hiding from my fears from all this time. But my first day in recovery, full of anxiety, full of fear, sat in the corner by myself, you know, still with the back to the wall and that, as you did in the madness.
Had you tried to get sober previously?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Before you actually...
I remember once I went to Gambia, Africa. Lads took us to Gambia, Africa, to try and get clean. It was the cheapest crack and best fucking cocaine you've had in your life over there. And nearly got topped over in Gambia. The Africans were trying to rob me mate. And as I've looked around, they've got them down the back steps. We were into Sierra Leone and that, trying to get diamonds and fucking messing about with Somali pirates and all sorts. It was crazy. I only went to try and get clean for a little holiday. And they're dragging them down the back stairs. Fucking. So I've ran over and I bit one of the Africans' arms. There was about 4 or 5 of them. And I've got my pal. And there was a couple of others of us. One of them went missing. One of them, I went to the toilet chestnut. Do you know what I mean? Nowhere to be seen. So we've actually got him outside. And he was that drunk. The bouncers are thrown us, but all the people are there and they're still trying to rob us, still trying to get us. And the army roadblocks there, army's roadblocks, soldiers all over, just extorting you for money and ripping you off. They change every 4 hours because there's that many of them there.
Really?
So while we're there, and the people are trying to get us and chop us and drag us and pull our chains off and fucking, while we were there, the army's changing the roadblocks and they were doing it early to fuck off, to leave us with the Africans. And I've got me pal trying to get him out the way, and he stood and started pissing in the street. Biggest insult you can give them, but he was that out of it, you know. He can't even remember it hardly to this day. The other lads can, but he can't to this day. And we're trying to get taxis, and the Africans are chasing them. You know, fuck off, these are ours, and this, that, and the other. And I'll tell you what saved our life that night. A couple of drinks. I was down in another bar. I think it was called. I can't remember the name. It was Pow or something like that, or Wow or something like that. We're down in this club, and there's this big African at the bar, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you, mate? You're miserable. Can I get you a drink, pal? Can I get you a drink? And they have this drink. I suppose it's like their version of Guinness. All the bodybuilders not drink it over there. It helps feed them and build them up. So they don't have much. So I got them a drink. Goes back to the guy, can I get you a drink, pal? And they ended up sat talking to them for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Good part there, good man. And as we've been having that carry on, we were there. I thought we were for it. He's come running up the street and shouted something in African. Everyone's fucking froze. He's got a taxi over. Put us in the taxi. We fucked off. A couple of nights later, I was down there. He ran all the security, the doors, the lock for all the clubs. That man saved our life that night. Wow. Yeah, for the sake of a couple of beers, I've bought him there. And
crazy.
Like I say, I come back like that. I went for a couple of weeks to get clean. Fucking ended up staying there for a long time. Come back in a mess. Another time, my dad I remember another time my brother kidnapped me off the street to do a cold turkey. Shoved me in a motor in the van and locked me in his house with him and his pal. His pal slept on the couch with a tool and said, "You jump out that window, John, you're getting it." You know, like forced me to do it. But I went up to visit one of my girlfriends. I said I was going for an hour with my girlfriend at the time, and snuck off round the lad's house, the dealer's house, and then they found out about it and they've come up and got me again. Just wrote the lad's house off in the night. Wrote it off. And it wasn't his fault, it was me that was running around there, do you know what I mean? To get drugs. But yeah, I did actually do a cold turkey. It was one of the worst ones I've done. I was spewing shit up the lot. I was very ill, tripping out, hallucinating. But someone had done me rattling, they let me go. I got back on it because I didn't want to do it then. Do you know what I mean? I'd done a long time in a Christian rehab.
All right.
Patel it's called, in Nottingham. I've done a while in there.
We've got a few in the country.
And they ended up, they've got a lot. Yeah. And they ended up being a responsible and house leader and that, and helping other people. But I got forced to go in there off my family. I wasn't ready for it. I still wasn't ready for it. No.
I've been there as well. I've been at that stage.
Another time, my dad took me to Tenerife to do a rattle, but it was my 21st at the time. And like I said, I fucked him off and partied all the way through, you know. Apart from jail sentences and training for fights and that, like I said, I've been outright junkie through and through. Lost everything through it.
What's been the difference, man, this time then to all the other times?
Do you know what, Charlie? I've had enough.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
I've had beautiful, enough, mate. I can't live like that no more. I've had enough. I've lost everything, mate.
Yeah.
Lost everything.
It's amazing, isn't it, when you've had enough?
Yeah,
I'm sick of being sick to see, isn't it?
It's no one else's choice. It's you.
No. Even like my last prison sentence, I got out in November, and I was clean through that, obviously. But I say I've clean it and get what you want in there, you know. And I got out, and I was started taking the tablets and that again. My sister put me up over Christmas. I remember I was falling asleep and that, and it's fucked in there. The family's there, my nephews and nieces. No, it's not. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not proud of everything I've done. I'm not glorifying everything I've done, but I'm out of that shit now. And if people can see that you can do it, it can be done. It doesn't have to be like that. And falling asleep over me dinner and shit like that. And I knew I was getting back into it. So my brother-in-law, Big John, was working with Craig and Steve, run community links. So he'd had a phone call with Craig and set it up for me to go.
And when was this then?
This was, it was a month ago now, Charlie.
2 months ago?
Started to go, no, maybe a bit longer,
January.
3, 4, yeah.
2 months ago.
And just after Christmas. And I started going there, like I say, for lads with a cup of tea and a bit of patter. And then they got me into the A&E rehab up seeing Addictions North East. It's a 12-step program. And I've never looked back since. It's hard. It's very hard. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, there's people around you. Everyone's been in the same situation you've been. And you can see that it works, you know. You can see that it's working in people. Beautiful people that have all been where I've been, you know, all the stuff and everything. But like you say, I'm learning to deal with that stuff, what I don't like about myself, bring it to the surface, work on it, so I don't run off like scared little boy and I behind drugs again. 100%. And do you know what? Like I say, it's hard, it's a struggle, but it's a beautiful life. I'm learning to appreciate the small things now. You know what I mean? I'm just learning to be happy with the small things, not wheeling and dealing and making money, tax and robbing. I'm just happy being alive and breathing, you know, just enjoying life now.
What was it like that first day of recovery? Did you even know that you were going to get a second day in?
No, I never thought I'd still be here now. I'm up there and I'm thinking, what the fuck? Because my first day in, when they picked me up on the morning, obviously I had my last handful of tablets, the last joint, the last bits and bobs. So my first day is a bit of a blur, to tell you the truth. But I remember waking up my second morning and thinking, oh fuck, what am I doing here? What have I done? I can't cope with this. I can't handle this. The anxiety's coming back. The fear's coming back. You know what I mean?
I'm doing this.
But I found the strength. Found the strength to go the next day and go the next day. You know what I mean? The people beautifully. The pressure's not on. Like them Christian rehabs, they're ramming God down your throat, religion and that. Where are you? Say, you look, find a God of your own, understand. Take your time with it. Because do you know what I mean? You're not pressured. You're not. You just
definitely.
I'm actually enjoying the work now. I'm actually enjoying searching deep inside and bringing that stuff out. You know, I'm honest. I'm right into it.
How old are you, John?
I'm 44 at the minute. Not long term, 44.
You listening, mate?
No, I was just going to say, you mentioned obviously the first few days being like shit. What have I done? What have I put myself in?
I was very ill, see. I was coming off the tablets, my cold turkey. I was very ill, so my head wasn't right anyway, do you know?
When that starts to clear, though, that fog starts to clear and you sort of realise I'm in the right place. How did that feel?
Oh, bliss. Absolute bliss. Honest, it did. When you start eating and you start sleeping, you just feel a bit normal.
What is normal?
You know what I mean? You just feel like I should feel.
Yeah.
You know? And all the people are loving me here, and everyone's over asking how you are, if you if you need out, if there's anything you need, and helping each other out, because we're all in it together, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone helps each other, from the newest guy in to the oldest guy, and we've all got something to learn off each other, you know. And like I say, I'm really enjoying it now. I'm really enjoying it now, and I'm getting into my work, and I've moved up into my next stage. And
you know what I'm interested in before we call it an end is tell me about the wee boy, the wee man lonely boy and the dog in the kennel to the man who's sitting in front of us. Tell us about that. Tell us about that, my wee man lonely boy, and what he's had to go through. To the man who's sitting in front of us nearly 3 months from a sober man.
Well, do you know what, Charlie? I wouldn't change it for the world, though, because I still am that scared little boy. And from what all I've been through has made me into the man I am now. And do you know what? I'm not a bad man. I'm finding out about myself. I'm not a bad man, Charlie.
I like that, man.
Do you know what I mean? I'm all right. So I'm good with that, from what I've been through.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean? But like I say, I would like to go on. I know it's still I'm just a baby in recovery at the minute, but I would like to go on to help people because, like I say, Charlie,
The story
if you
you've
can
got.
if you can help someone from what I've been through, wouldn't make my life seem worthwhile. Like I said, just wouldn't make it seem not a waste.
Well, what you're doing
You know what
today
I
is
mean?
going to be helping other people.
I know, mate.
Well, that's exactly why I'm doing it because I've been nervous to do this and like this. If people can see what I've been and you can get out of that life and make a better life, well, I'm all for that, mate. Because it doesn't have to be like that.
There isn't many people, and John, that I've came across anyway who have got a life story. When you've got one a life in the story, and I know we've only just touched the iceberg.
That's only a small part of it. Yeah.
But, and you've also been great to help us do my life story of my documentary.
I'd love to, yeah. I'll get
your
some of my
life,
friends on and tell you some
So,
more stories what I've done
yeah,
because there's
that'd
fucking
be
loads more. Like
I want
there's a
to.
load more.
I really want to wish you all the best in your recovery, John, because it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you the last few months. I didn't have any idea that these wee bit of iceberg stories were there. Do you know what I mean? Because I only know John McQueen.
Yeah, what you see
Sober
me
John.
now. Yeah, of course.
I only treat my people the way they treat me,
Yes,
and you become a friend to me.
I hope so, Charlie, because you have me. I hope so. And
You're
yourself,
becoming a
Dan.
friend.
Yeah.
It's been lovely to see you.
It's my pleasure to know you and meet you as well.
It's been lovely to see you, man, on a Friday night, and I look forward to seeing you, man, on a Friday night.
Yeah, same here, brother.
Thanks very much, John.
Thank you, fellas.
I just wanted to say thank you as well. It's been an absolute great episode. Thank you so much for coming on and passing the message forward.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's all about the recovery, boys.
Hey!
Thank you, my man. Dan, thank you very much.